Hello and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. Everyone in the neighborhood is mowing, but the sun is finally in a place that I can sit outside and tape. So today I'm gonna harvest my hardneck garlic. I will post the variety I did up top, but it was just like one of the standard ones that I got last year. I planted them in September, I think, of last year. I'm gonna dig them up and we will see how they did. And we had a big rain like 4 days ago or so, but the leaves are really starting to die back quite a bit, and I really don't want to risk missing the window for them. Before I get any further, let me mention that there are two kinds of garlic you can grow. Generally, there are tons of varieties, but there's hardneck and softneck garlic. In regions that have really cold winters, hardneck garlic performs the best, whereas in warmer climates, softneck garlic performs the best. And there are a few differences also in how you harvest them, not how you harvest them, but when you harvest them, what the signals are that the plants give for when they're ready to be harvested. And I'm not experienced enough. This is my first time growing garlic, so I'm not experienced enough to know all those differences. I'm figuring it out. But another two big differences between softneck and hardneck garlic, three differences actually, is that softneck garlic can be braided, those beautiful braids of garlic you see. That hardneck garlic, by its name, you can kind of tell that the stems are just too hard for actually braiding them. Also, hardneck garlic doesn't store for quite as long as softneck garlic. But for me, that's not a huge problem, because for hardneck garlic, I can freeze it, or I can still cure it and use it for like 5 or 6 months, for most varieties. So I don't really consider that a huge problem. It's not like 1 month versus a year, right? And the amount of garlic I'm growing, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. Also, for hardneck garlic, it actually produces what's called a scape, and I had a video on that recently, harvesting the scapes. And that's basically the stem that goes up that would produce the flower bulb for that hardneck garlic. Softneck garlic does not produce scapes. So those are the main differences between the two. And as far as I understand, both are relatively easy to grow if they're in the right location. So, okay, let's get to harvesting. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so this is admittedly my first year growing garlic. And I think I pulled most of them about the right time. For hardneck garlic, they say it's when about half of the leaves have died back. And we had a rain 3 days ago, but it was gonna get really hot this weekend and rain again, and I didn't want to risk it. So I waited till it had been at least 3 days between rains and I pulled it. I think it looks pretty good. We definitely I can definitely see the different cloves formed, which is exciting because that was my biggest concern, was that I would pull it before the cloves separated out. So I'm looking over each one after I get the camera with my after it gets caught in the camera. Why are you getting caught in the camera? Don't get caught in the camera. Oi, oi, oi. Checking each one. Now this one looks like it started to split. I don't know if you can see the gap there. Or you can kind of actually sort of see that's dirt between the things. So that one's gonna go inside and be used first. I'm not gonna dry it and store it at all. This one also looks like, you can see the individual cloves, but it looks like the skin is coming off of it. So I think I probably need to take this in as well. Now I can freeze these. There's all kinds of things I can do to store them if I can't dry them out outside. So I'm mostly just kind of, wait, what did I do with that one? You go over there. I'm mostly just kind of inspecting them real quick to see if there's any. Now see, this one has a little bit of a kind of moldy spot. So that's definitely going to go inside. I think I looked over the others. I'm pretty sure the others are pretty good. There were really only 3 that had big concerns for me. So all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I think I planted 15. I'll have to go back and check. I think I planted 15, so for 14 of them to have produced is really great. I just want to give you a quick update on what happened after I harvested the garlic. So I took them inside. I took the 3 cloves inside that I, had issues that I wasn't sure if I needed to just go ahead and process them immediately. And I took the skins off, and I put a paper towel in, after drying them off, in a little Tupperware container. And I think I'm probably gonna freeze them maybe in a mixture of oil, or maybe just freeze them regularly. I have to research a little bit about the best ways to kind of preserve them. I may also try making like an olive oil, garlic infused olive oil, which I think would be really tasty and nice to have for salad dressings and things like that. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And here's a picture of the harvested garlic cloves. I think I got 20 out of 3 heads. So that's what, like a little more than 6 per clove on average. 6 to 7 per clove per set on average. So that makes me happy. And then I had laid out the garlic just for overnight to deal with the next day, the ones that I wasn't going to process immediately. I'd set them over there on the compost pile, the bagged compost, and I was going to put them on top of a wood planks or something like that in the backyard. And I woke up at about 6:30 in the morning to the sound of rain the next morning, and I said, oh crap, because you're really not supposed to get the cloves wet. You're really not supposed to get the garlic bulbs. That's the term. You're really not supposed to get the garlic bulbs wet. So some people do though. So I looked up online and I saw, I thought there has to be circumstances where people put their garlic bulbs out to cure, I believe is the word that people use, to let them dry out basically so they can be stored a little bit longer. And so I looked it up, and basically people said it should be okay. Just try to dry them off as much as you can and give them a place to dry. So I actually brought them inside. I had a cardboard box that I hadn't broken down yet to put in the recycling or in my compost pile. And so I turned that upside down, and I put the garlic bulbs on top of that in my kitchenette area. It's an area we really don't use a lot of, so it'll be okay sitting there. And I may take them back outside, but I am a little bit leery of animals getting to it and stuff. I don't know. How do you guys handle putting those outside and keeping animals away? Maybe animals just don't eat them because it's garlic. That's also quite possible. So anyway, I'm really excited. Like I said, this is my first year trying to grow garlic, and I don't really have too many lessons learned. I think I pulled them just the right time, given that one of them was already starting to sort of turn bad. I think if I had let that heavy rain happen again and waited longer, that bulb probably would have gotten worse. And then, you know, I think the only real change I'm going to do next year is I'm probably not going to line the bed with garlic, because I didn't realize how tall they get out of the ground. They get like around 2 feet high, I think, at least the ones I grew. So I think I'm going to grow them in a row in the back of a bed, because I also didn't realize last year how long into this late spring, early summer season that the garlic sits in the bed until it is harvested, grows until it's harvested. So if I can put them in a row, a couple of rows where I can grow other stuff in front of it, instead of having to get around them to get into the bed to access the rest of the bed, I think that'll be a better thing. But overall, I would definitely count this first year growing garlic a success. And I would definitely recommend trying it if you haven't, but definitely be aware that it will take up all of the space it's in. It will take up in the spring and early summer as well if you plant them in the fall. And I am going to save a couple of the heads, the bulbs, to break up the cloves and plant them in September or October again, so that I can keep using these and not having to invest in new ones. But I am tempted to invest in some new ones, so I might still do a combo. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you aren't already a subscriber, please consider doing so. And otherwise, I'll see you next time.